Good luck. What are these things? Jesus.
This is Vector. I found the target.
このゲームはもうバイオハザード
Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City is a Resident Evil game set in the titular Raccoon City. The thing that makes this different from other games in the Resident Evil series is the fact that it is a modern third-person shooter, very action-focused. Also, the main characters that are featured in this game are not your traditional Resident Evil heroes. You're actually playing as a special force detachment that works for the Umbrella Corporation. They are in Raccoon City to clean up the evidence of the outbreak, and they're fighting against American special forces who are there to find out what really happened. So it's very, very different from some of the other games in the series. The co-op experience in Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City is a 4-player co-op experience where you can get together with a team of Umbrella operatives to kill all of the American special forces in the city. Now, it's not a simple situation where you just go and try to kill all of the special forces. You also have to deal with all of the zombies and different BOWs and creatures that are spread throughout the city. It's a very, very intense experience, and you have to be very, very smart and use the environment and the zombies to your advantage if you want to actually complete your objectives. It's got a lot of stuff that you won't see in other third-person shooters, and if you are bit by a zombie, there's a chance that you become infected. Once you're infected, after a certain time, you will turn into a zombie if you don't get the antidote spray in the environment or from your team. So once you become infected, you have to find that spray yourself or get it from another teammate, or you will become a zombie and then start attacking your teammates.
ゾンビゲームらしいゲームになってます。
So yes, we do have jump in, jump out co-op. So you will be able to jump in and join in even if you only have a short time to play. Having said that, the story of the game is definitely a big focus, and being able to play through this interesting story set in the Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 timeline is a big draw for the game, at least in our minds. I mentioned earlier that you wouldn't be playing as Resident Evil hero characters. However, that doesn't mean that a lot of those classic characters won't be coming out in the game. You're going to be seeing a lot of familiar faces, and the way that you encounter them will be very, very different and intriguing. Yes, this game, it's definitely very, very shooter-focused, but it's not 100% action. There's definitely some of those interesting scenes that you come to know and expect in Resident Evil, where you've got a very little bit of light puzzle solving. It's not too heavy on that, but there is some of that to help basically flesh out the pacing of the game, and to, bring that Resident Evil flavor and taste to it. Yes, you will be seeing a lot of really big, impressive bosses in this game. I think maybe we've seen a couple of those in the videos and images that have already been released. And also there's certainly more to come. In terms of kind of mini bosses as well, enemies that you wouldn't quite call bosses, but the creatures, the lickers and hunters and things like that. You're going to see a lot of those during gameplay, and they really break up the normal gameplay of fighting zombies, and you have to figure out not only how to use the zombies to your advantage, but how can you complete your objectives and survive. Sometimes you can't survive and kill all the enemies. That's one of the tropes of the Resident Evil series, and certainly that's in play in this game as well. We learn a lot from working with Slant 6. We learn new ways to make games. They do things in a completely different way, and that know-how is certainly going to help us in the future. It's going to help us diversify our game creation process, which is going to be very important. And also, Slant 6 is learning a little bit about how we go about creating games. And I like to think that that's being beneficial for them as well. So in this market where you have to, stay on top of your game, so to speak, and do things in a forward-looking way, I think that this is very, very good strategy, and I think we're going to be continuing in the future. The main characters are all Umbrella Special Forces, so certainly they have some interesting abilities that no other Special Forces would have. One of the characters that we introduced here at E3 is called Four Eyes. That is a very, very Umbrella-type character. the original meaning of BOWs, these creatures. They're biological weapons. They're weapons to be used in war, and Four Eyes can actually take control of hunters and other creatures for a short time and use them to attack the enemies that he wants to attack. So that is one of the attacks, one of the skills that only Umbrella has. As this game is a bit more action-focused than other Resident Evil titles, we do have a bit more randomization, I guess you could say, in the way that the items are placed and the enemies come and attack you. Obviously, as you defeat zombies, you sometimes receive items. You don't always defeat the same zombie in the same place, so those times when you get those items can change. Also, depending on the situation and how you're fighting, zombies might come out in different areas, so you'll definitely be seeing different kinds of battles as you play through a second or third time. Well, certainly there's a lot we still have to decide in terms of what we're going to show at TGS, but one thing I definitely can say is that there are still a lot of interesting characters that we have yet to announce, and I'm looking forward to talking about some of them at TGS.